everybody, it's Hunger again, and today I'm going to be talking about the belly dancing minigame in Pokemon Ultra Fire Red XD. So, as many of you may have seen in Hoodlum Callum's video on the subject, there is a belly dancing minigame in the house where the Chansey Dance guy used to be. This minigame was imported from another Pokemon ROM hack called Pokémon Marble, and the Pokémon Marble was never completed, and it probably never will be. But the devs thought enough of this minigame to sort of include it, and there were some glitches in the game from Pokémon Marble that carried over. So if you happen to be playing Pokémon Marble, the strategies and tips that I'm about to give you here will work in that version as well. If you're unfamiliar with the belly dancing minigame, basically it's sort of a memory game, like Simon or something like that, where they give you a sequence of commands very quickly, and you have to memorize them as best you can, and then replicate them. And then on the last round, you have to get all 8 commands that they give you correct, and it's very challenging. I'm going to kind of go over some tips and strategies for getting through the belly dancing minigame and getting the reward, which is a battle, and after the battle, a ticket, which lets you go and catch a specific Pokemon. Tip number 1. Don't play this on a cartridge. You need to be using an emulator. There are specific reasons that you need to have save states. If you somehow went on eBay and got a cartridge port of this game, rip. It was a dumb idea. You need to have a save state available to beat this minigame. You're not going to be able to do it with a cartridge, or if you do, it's going to take you hours. Most likely, for a couple reasons. Number 1, when you get to the last part, there is a glitch. It happens about 90% of the time, where once you get to that last part and you get past the point where the NPC literally says save state right now, the game will glitch out and stop working. This happens, again, about 90% of the time. It happens more often than not. So if you don't save state there, and you move on to the part where she's supposed to start doing the command sequence, and she doesn't do anything and it freezes, then you have to start all the way over from your last save if you don't have a save state. So that's the first thing. You need to have save states available in order to complete this, unless you just get really lucky. So, that said, there's a little trick involving save states that you can use to save yourself a lot of grief. This is a command input and remembering sort of a mini game. So most people would say, "Oh, well, just save state before they give you the commands, and then they give you the commands, and you can try to remember them as best you can." Some people might say, "Oh, well, we'll try to slow the gameplay speed down so you can get the commands written down," things like that. No, that's not the best way to do it. For the first few, you could probably just remember the commands well enough just by seeing them, and you don't have to get them all right. So it's pretty easy to get through. But for the last one especially, after you save state when it tells you to, let her go through the commands, and regardless of whether you remember them all or not, save state again. Right after the commands, right before you start trying to put them in yourself. And what you do is go ahead and open up a notepad or something, or get a piece of paper out and write it down. But basically, as you you're basically going to try and guess the commands, and as you guess them, the dancers around you will do the correct command. So basically what you want to do is just sort of write down the commands as you guess them, and then return to the beginning of your save state, which again would be after you receive the command, so the commands haven't changed, and try again. And eventually, once you've got all the save states written down correctly, you can just go ahead and put them in flawlessly every time. And Once you complete it correctly, you should get the battle with the belly dancer and be able to move on. Now, I had a problem on my particular save file where the game thought that I had already tripped that particular flag, so it would not let me battle her or give me the ticket. The dev team is working on a fix for this, but I have not received any confirmation that a working fix is available. I will continue to test out any fixes that they come up with and see if they work. But in the meantime, anybody else who's having that problem, unfortunately, you're just kind of SOL. But the Pokemon that you're able to catch with the ticket, A design, is available in the Safari Zone. So if you if you really want it, you can look around the Safari Zone for it and then save state when you find it in the Safari Zone and try to catch it that way. That's my only real advice if you absolutely must have an A design on your team. And why wouldn't you want A design? It's a great Pokemon. It's a great Clovermon. That's how to belly dance like a pro in Pokemon Ultra Fire Red XD and Pokemon Marble. Hopefully this helps some of you who might be struggling with this minigame. And as always, I hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye!